So yeah, I've been lagging when it comes to the Beyond the Gates recaps on Vocal and on TikTok. But here's what I'm gonna do. For this. I'm gonna talk about the three main highlights from each of the last 3 weeks, week 7, 8, and 9. I wrote I wrote a recap of week 7 long ago. I wrote a recap of week 7 when it ended. So one of the links is up there about check it out. And I wrote a combined abbreviated review of weeks 8 and 9. That's also featured. Check that out too. But I'm gonna take the top moments from each of those weeks and talk about them. It'll save time, and I'll get back. I'll definitely get back on track on recaps after week 10 ends. I'll definitely get on it, because I love Beyond the Gates is chaotic. Stanley Cup playoffs even more chaotic, and that's been kind of a good focus for me. But so let's talk about each highlight bit by bit, starting with the most eye popping one from week 7. The Friday episode from week 7, April 11th. I have to talk about this. Quite a few things. There were quite a few things that stood out in week 7, but I have to talk about this. Ted actually told somebody. He actually told somebody about his past with Dana Leslie, or whatever the hell her name is. And he told Andre. Now, I kind of figured, well, he told Andre because, well, Andre messed around a bit too. So he figured he'd understand. Plus, I felt Ted had to, tell somebody. But here's the thing, and I had this, I still have this thought. Because, Andre was talking about how good of a guy Ted was. He would never be like Bill Hamilton. That's what kind of led Ted to kind of finally let it out. Ted himself said he's just like Bill, but a thought I still kind of had this. Is Ted worse than Bill Hamilton? Hear me out. Now here's the thing. A saying I go by a lot is the devil you know is better than the devil you don't know. We know Bill Hamilton. We know how full of shit he is. We know what pretty much a misogynistic prick he is. We know what Bill is. And he doesn't really hide it. He doesn't really hide it. Ted? What? We really don't know who he is before he got Nicole. Who was he? And he works his damnedest to mask that part of himself. And he's still masking it. I mean, did he marry Nicole for the prestige? After all, she's a Dupree. We know Bill did it. Like I said, Bill's not hiding that. Ted is acting like Ted is walking around with a proverbial mask around him, and he's still kind of wearing it. So again, I ask, is he actually worse than Bill? I'll let you ponder that. The top moment for me in week 8 was Haley saying she's pregnant. And yes, I'm air quoting that. Haley is not to be trusted. To borrow a line from Dudley Hall of Famer, I wouldn't trust that woman even if her tongue were notarized. She'll say anything, and uh, yeah, within seconds after she said that, I thought she's lying. She's lying, and then conveniently days later, oh, she's not pregnant anymore. Well, she said she thought she was pregnant. She thought she was pregnant. Even so, that could be an attention grab, and the way Bill kind of reacted. His reaction is like, His reaction is pretty much like how I reacted when the Bills beat the Ravens. Like, oh no. It's inside, he was like, oh no. Um, and then I swear to you, when Bill was told that the pregnancy may not be a thing, I guarantee you, remember that line for that doctor from the Seinfeld finale? Restrained jubilation. It was there. It was there. I really liked that week 9 centered around Doug. I like Doug. I talk about him. I kind of make fun of him a bit because he gets into shit, but I do like it. I do like it, and he keeps getting into it. He keeps getting in deeper. I mean, Joey's shaking him down, and I think during week 9, he and Vanessa kind of finally had a nice romantic, passionate moment, but he was still wrestling with the vice he had been hitting from pretty much everybody until the end of week 9. He told Nicole. And I was happy. He was this close to telling Vanessa, but he couldn't do it. But he finally told Nicole, and I was been happy for him. I said, and to be honest, I can't in good conscience kind of make fun of him anymore. Because, I mean, he feels like he's messed up. He has, but he has. The one thing worse than making a mistake is carrying it with you and feeling like you've let people down. I've been there. Not his vice, obviously. I don't have that. But when you, it's why I try my best not to make any mistakes or errors. I mean, everybody's gonna make them, but it depend. But with me, depending on how big or small they are, if there's, I just the feeling he has is he feels he's let people down. He feels he let his wife down, and he doesn't. It's a burden he's carrying. A lot of us do carry that. A lot of us do carry that. So I do feel for, but he does need to get out of this somehow. I hope he does. I really hope he gets out of this unscathed or at least close to it. Because hey, don't we all deserve to rise above anything? And that is my condensed mini combined recap in this video. There are 2 stories up there. The links are up there. Check them out. And I promise, once week 10 is over, and this week will start week 10. Once that ends, I will be timely. I'll try to get things together in an orderly manner and get back on track because I gotta get back on track with this. But so this time around next week, there will be a timely recap for sure. So, but one thing's for sure, this Beyond the Gates is amazing. As I said before, this show is exactly what the soap opera genre needed.